Welcome to poisoning existing scripts. So this section is going to be a little bit different. Instead of making some type of configuration change in the registry or uploading some type of file to the startup folder, we're actually going to poison an existing resource. Now, if you ever have the ability to do this on a red team operation, I would highly recommend it, because instead of adding a new configuration somewhere, you're actually just kind of adding a configuration to something that's already there. So there's a good chance it'll go undetected by some type of defensive personnel. So we have a great example of this in our target environment here. If we do an ls, and I'm actually going to cheat and copy the startup folder path just because it's kind of a pain to type out the whole thing. So let's paste this in here. Perfect. We can see a couple of files in this startup folder. Now, we know anything in startup will be executed on user login, and the customer already has something here called off-limits lab.bat. So let's do some recon. We could type this out, but what I want to do is I want to download this file from the host. So let's go ahead and copy it. I'm actually not sure what the sliver download syntax is, so let's see what it says here. Looks like I just do the download, specify the remote path, and then the local path, as you can see right here. So let's go ahead, let's do download. The remote path is going to be this long string, and then we're going to do that lab.bat. So let me scroll up here. We'll get it copied to our clipboard, paste it in, looks great. And then we're going to give it a local path. So we're going to go / let's do home, rogue operator, desktop, and then we'll just call it the same thing just so we know what it is. So let's see if this works. Really quick, right? Super small file. It just downloaded it to my desktop. So let's come over here to my Kali machine. Let's open up the desktop here and take a look at what's in it. So this is the bat file that was on that target machine. So in production world, right, in the real world, there'll be a bunch of different things that administrators want executed on user login. We can see here, I actually set this up when I built out the environment to just open a bunch of things, a bunch of documents, but we can actually use this to our advantage. We can actually have it start a binary that we upload to the target system. Now, if you've watched the other videos, you know we already have this Adobe Updater exe that we already put up there. That's our sliver binary. So let me go ahead, let's grab the full path to that file. We do not want to double backslash it since we already are kind of in that perspective of this target machine. So let's go ahead, we'll just add another start here. We'll paste in the full path to our executable, and we should be good. We could maybe add another timeout. It looks like they're doing timeouts before every start, so we can do another timeout after our executable kickoff. But in the real world, when you have all these machines that are being administered by some centralized group, you're gonna find a bunch of different starting scripts to start defensive tools or Skype or other things that the users want started. So it's pretty easy to find something that you can poison and have call your own payload. So with this in place, let's go ahead and save it. So I'm gonna click up here. We're gonna do save as. And then let's go we'll just put it in documents or somewhere different. We do want to make sure we name it the same because we're actually going to remove the target version and then upload our own version. In the real world, I would highly recommend you just move the target version somewhere else on the hard drive, name it something different, just so you back up a good known copy of the customer file. The last thing you want to do is remove it and then somehow you lose your good copy of it, and then you can get in big trouble, right? You don't have the original customer file. So I will go ahead and remove it though. That way we can upload our new version here. So we have that there. Perfect. Let's go ahead. Let's get our upload command ready, right? Let's get our playbook, which is over here. And let's do our upload. So we're going to do upload, and then we need to specify the source. So let's find out where that path is. I copied it to my desktop or my documents folder. So let's go documents. I like to do PWD, and I'd like to copy paste as much as possible. It really lowers that level of error, right? If you're just copy pasting everything, you can't accidentally spell something differently. So right here, just copy pasting everything I can. Then we need to specify the target with those double backslashes, right? So we have most of the path right here we can kind of cut and copy from. So let's fix this here, double backslash, and then what was the name? It was lab off limits bat. Perfect. Again, I like to copy paste everything. Awesome, our upload command looks good. We're gonna upload from home rogue operator documents off limits lab bat. we're going to upload it to C users, Phyllis Snyder, all the way down to off limits lab bat. So first thing we want to do is remove that target file. That way we can upload it to that same name. Again, in the real world, please back up any target customer files somewhere else on disk. Don't just delete their files until you have a clean backup. So I'm going to go ahead and do our RM here. Awesome, looks like it worked. Let's go ahead, come up here. We'll do an LS just to make sure it's gone, and then we can do our upload. We're gonna replace it with our poisoned version, right? So do our LS for sure, it's gone, excellent. Now we cross our fingers that our upload command is going to work successfully, and it didn't like it. What did I do wrong? Oh, quotes, quotes, quotes. So let's add our quotes to this. It does have a space in the name, so don't forget to wrap those in quotes, otherwise it's just gonna get confused. Got our quotes around there, wrote file successfully. We can go ahead and do an LS. Awesome, it's right there. And take a look at this right here. Sliver has a cat plugin. This means that we can actually cat, or it's called type. Basically, we can print out the contents of a file to the screen. So we can verify that our uploaded copy looks great. You know, that looks how we want it to. So let's do a cat. Let's grab our upload command, and we can't forget the quotes this time. So let's put our quotes around it. We'll cat it out. We see all the normal stuff in there, and look how great that blends in. Adobe Updater, I love it. Let's go ahead, let's go into a shell on the system. We'll do a CMD, and then we'll do our shutdown, whack R, whack T0, whack F. That's gonna reboot the system, should kill our session, perfect. And then when it calls us back, again, it should be calling their existing script that's already there that we poisoned, and then it'll call us back. And again, this can be any administrative script that you find, but it does need to have editing rights by our local user. Luckily, this is our own user's directory, so we had privileges to do so, but that's definitely something important to keep in mind. Awesome, we just got our callback, so we were able to poison that existing customer bat file. We re-uploaded it to its rightful location, we rebooted the host, and then we caught the callback. So everything worked great. The actual cleanup steps on this one are pretty straightforward. You would remove the executable, that Adobe Updater that's up there, and then you would also replace that bat file with the original customer one that you didn't poison, and you should be good to go. So that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. We were able to poison that target customer file, the machine rebooted, and we were able to catch our callback, which is awesome. Now, the only two requirements for executing this kind of technique is that the script is set to be editable by a basic user, which is great because the script was already in the user directory, so there's a good chance that that's true. And then the script has to be in some type of situation where it's already being executed somewhat persistently on user login or whatever. So this worked out really well in our situation. It'll definitely work out well out there in the real world if you can find a file that meets those requirements. In the next video, we're going to be talking through escalation, so no more running as a basic user. We're going to try to escalate our privileges to system or administrator on the local machine, and then try to branch out into the network around it, which is really exciting. So definitely click through, check that one out.